Welcome back to Sports Extra. Time now for another very special segment, because when we talk about big things for Pakistan, I think this does have the lead. We discussed about one particular thing before the break as well, and now when we talk about this sport, it's really going to make headway, and it is already making headlines throughout Pakistan as well. I'm very lucky to be joined by two very special people who we're going to be talking to. And first of all, I know I have an introduction in front of me, but I don't like to use the word former. Because why I don't use former? Because I think once you're something, you always remain that, especially if you're a kickboxer. I think you'll be a kickboxer forever. So Mark has been a professional kickboxer, three-time European champion, and a former British champion and English champion for kickboxing as well. Very lucky to be joined by Mark Lodge in studios of Sports Extra. Good evening, Mark. How are you?
Good evening.
Great.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, Mark. Great to have you. But like I said, I'm not going to use the word former, because I still think that forever kickboxing is going to be your thing.
Always.
Yeah,
but
always.
I'm now into boxing.
Yeah.
And glad to be over here. I would like to thank Nauman Shah and Umer Toor for of the PPBL for inviting me over here to coach the Pakistani fighter that is fighting for the WBC Arabian Sea Belt on Saturday.
On Saturday, absolutely. We're going to be coming to those details as well, but I'm very honored to be joined by a gentleman who has really taken the cause of not just promoting this, but making sure that it is established in Pakistan with a proper structure and for a long-term sustainability as well, because that's what it's all about. He's the director of the Pakistan Professional Boxing League and the founding member of the Pakistan Professional Boxing League as well, the very honorable Mr. Umer Toor. Umer bhai, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Sports Extra.
Ji, wa alaikum salam.
Great to have you as well. First of all, Umer bhai, I'll start with you for people who want to know what's coming up and why is there such a hype. We'd really like to know from you yourself.
Well, boxing comes from the sports family, which stands as the second most watched game over the globe. Unfortunately, it has not been able to make its appropriate standing in Pakistan, but it doesn't mean we didn't have the talent. We always had the talent, but sometimes things do take time. But I would really like to take a few names like World Boxing Council's chairman, Sulaiman Moresho, who trusted our organization, and our president, Syed Nauman Shah, and our international affiliates such as Amisha and all. It has been 11 years journey that we stand at this day today, and finally World Boxing Council's first sanctioned event is going to take place on 22nd of January 2022.
They're phenomenal when we talk about this. The first ever sanctioned event in Pakistan. It does not get any big than this. But Mark, since you've been able to work with these Pakistani lads, and one in particular as well, how do you feel about the boxing talent that you've seen in Pakistan so far?
I believe there's a lot of very good quality raw talent in Pakistan. Pakistan fighters have the heart, they have the determination, and which is very important in boxing, is a mindset to train hard, a mindset to learn. And exactly why I'm here is to give that extra little bit of my expertise for Pakistani fighters, not just the Muzaffar who's fighting on Saturday, but hopefully for the future to come to Pakistan on a regular basis and help to teach and bring professional boxing coaching into Pakistan.
But Mark, what needs to be the first step? Do you believe, is it infrastructure? Because obviously in Pakistan, like you mentioned, you've seen some great talent, and this has happened without any infrastructure or any sanctioned event from the world. So if these kids are able to do this much without that infrastructure, imagine if they get like title fights like these, how long can it go?
Oh, totally agree. With what you have got now, and we are hoping to build a bigger, better infrastructure in Pakistan, sky's the limit for Pakistan fighters. We could have world champions here. You could, WBC champions in Pakistan.
Definitely. Umer, we see a lot of names throughout the world. Some of them, of course, do come from Pakistan when we talk about professional boxing. these eventually become role models in their own regions as well. But like I said, we need to understand we have our limitations when it comes to infrastructure, academies, and so many things. But it's avenues like this, bringing the first ever sanctioned event in Pakistan, that open up so many doors and bring in so much of attention throughout the world that they can be game changers for the sport itself.
That's absolutely true, and it's not just a sporting event. As you see, there's a whole technical delegates who are, some have landed already in Pakistan, some are about to land tonight and tomorrow. All referees, judges, supervisors are coming from around the globe, and they are going to be supervising this match. As you already see, Mark is here as a coach. So this is an absolutely international event, and as you said, it opens the door. Names you already see around the globe have already been in touch with us now, and as Mark is going to brief you more about the names, the world champions around the globe have called the President PPBL, Syed Nauman Shah, and congratulated on getting this WBC first ever title fight. But this Arabian Sea title is sanctioned to Pakistan, and there are 16 countries under it. So that means Pakistan is going to be looking after professional boxing for 16 other countries, including your neighbor country, and a lot of Middle Eastern countries as well. So this shall open magnificent doors, a lot of for the raw talent, which was looking out that, where to go after a certain level when they achieve an amateur. But this is it for all of them and for the future youth.
So Mark, a lot of international attention now, like Umer just said?
There is a lot of international attention. We have professional fighters, world champions, Tyson Fury being one, working with another one of the colleagues here today, this week, Peter Madonna, wishing Pakistan professional boxing good luck. I say guys like Tyson Fury, Ricky Hatton, these may not be household names in Pakistan at the moment, but I'm sure in the future these will be household names along with Pakistani professional fighters. The aim is to bring professional boxing into the limelight, into Pakistan limelight. We obviously know that the cricket is is big here. We're going to change cricket bat for cricket gloves.
That's very true. But it's great that you mentioned all of these names, and like you said that they might not be household names, but trust me, there's a lot of following for especially Tyson Fury, just for the character that he is outside the ring as well.
Agreed. He is a character, and let's hope maybe we can find some of them characters in Pakistan.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what we're looking for.
Yeah, that's true. Really, create names in Pakistan as well. But Umer, it's interesting that when, at the age when we were growing up, we had a lot of focus on boxing. There was a lot of talk in Pakistan about boxing, especially going up to the heavyweight division. Mike Tyson was the most talked about subject in Pakistan. There was a proper following. Somewhere in the between, of course, the limelight shifted. But this is our chance to bring it back as well. And like I said, that guys like Tyson Fury, be it Floyd, Money Mayweather, Plachisco, anybody for that fact, there is a certain following still in Pakistan. People do have a special love for boxing.
That's absolutely true. And going back in the past, we are expecting Syed Nauman Shah, our former Olympian. He is also expected to join us at the event, apart from all the international officials from WBC. And that's why we are hoping to make our way right after this event, as this is going to be the first title event. As you said, a lot of people are following boxing, but actually, until unless there is a right platform not available, it becomes impossible for the fan following to grow from after a certain point. So far, we have been following international stars, but it's right time now that we start producing our own stars at Pakistan Professional Boxing League now.
Definitely. Mark, talking about technicalities, there's an international way where we see training for boxers and everything. The base has got to be the same. So when you talk about Pakistan and when you've been working with this lot, what have you seen? Where do they stand when we talk about this?
Well, as I said before, there is raw quality here. There is raw fighting skills. Muzaffar, who is fighting on Saturday, he has some good skills fast hands, good movement. And again, as a coach's point of view, he's got it there. He's got a standing. And I'm sure, apart from Muzafar, I'm sure there's other fighters that have that, and we just need to help develop that as the coaching system. I mean, the idea would be, later on moving along, is coaches to train the coaches in Pakistan to give them that international style of fighting. And build up the fighters in Pakistan. I would love to say that people should be getting behind the Pakistan fighter who's fighting on Saturday, who's fighting for an Arabian Sea Belt. And come and watch, come and see. See, this is a growing field that's going to grow and grow.
Let's get ready to rumble. That's the way
That's it, exactly. Let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah. But Mark, how hard is it to transform a food-loving nation into boxers who keep a clean diet? That's got to be the toughest thing to do in Pakistan.
Do you know, it's all, again, I go back to it's an attitude. It's attitude of the person that's being who wants to fight. If you want it bad enough, you want it good enough, you'll have the correct diet. You will eat the correct food. You'll do the correct training. For example, Muzafar, he's up in the morning running. In the afternoon, doing his training in the afternoon, doing training in the evening. He's dedicated, and that's what it takes to be a professional fighter. Dedication, good mindset.
Definitely. Umer, what would be your message for people who are watching, and especially for people, like Mark said, need to get behind Muzafar, get behind the Pakistani fighter, because it is a prize title fight at the end of the day?
See, we all understand, being in Pakistan, we all understand that we've been through some hard times, and as current policies are focused on, boosting economy through tourism and other stuff, we also believe that sports tourism, which is ranked as one of the quite a factor in a lot of countries, such sports, by supporting them in any capacity, either by playing it, by sharing it, by watching it, by being there, just be part of it in any way, and eventually it's going to lead one sports into an economic activity as well. And the prospects are great, and please allow me to thank our international community, the Pakistans living abroad, especially in England. They've been a very great support in this whole process of building this entity here, and some of them are here as well to support and promote. Let's hope for the best, and with your support and our friends and WBC, we're looking forward for a great future.
Inshallah, inshallah, that is the hope. Mark, your final message to boys and girls who want to take up boxing, be a professional boxer themselves.
Boys and girls, it isn't just about being a professional boxer. You can join in boxing, you can train boxing, but if you want to be a professional boxer, come and look up PPBL. Maybe come and have a look on Saturday, and keep disciplined.
Keep discipline as well. Discipline, of course, is very important. But Umer, for people who want to know, do we see a platform in a long run where we can actually establish centers at grassroots as well? Because obviously, we'll pick up talent, we'll train them, and they'll get to a professional stage. But that for that, you need a nursery at the grassroots level that keeps on providing you with that raw talent.
Yes, we are very much in line with the nursery, which already exists. Unfortunately, the nursery did exist, but a step ahead didn't exist. So it's the other way. People think that probably Pakistan doesn't have a nursery, but we do have a nursery, but the plants grew and didn't have a next step.
Yeah.
And PPBL has just appeared as the next step. Alhamdulillah, it is a massive nursery in shape of Pakistan Boxing Federation. They worked a lot, and they are working with us in line. So like the products which they produce in terms of amateur boxer, now they would have a next platform, which is a professional boxing platform, PPBL. Now they would be able to participate, get trained by the international coaches as well. And we do have a plan to have our own trainers trained by international coaches, so we would have our own trainers as well. So very well said by you that this is a concern, but it has been well addressed, since this effort which you are seeing today, PPBL, is not overnight. It's a journey of 10 years, started in 2010. And after 10 years, literally, a little over 10 years, that's where we stand now. And that's why we have a strategy in place, a right plan in place. It was slow and steady, but we have reached here now.
Definitely. Mark, final question, one for me personally, because I want to know that journey from being a professional boxer or kickboxer yourself and then transforming yourself into a coach. How hard is it to restrict yourself? Because obviously your fight is in there and you really want to take up the gloves yourself sometimes, whatever's happening in that ring. How do you restrict yourself at that time? How do you control the adrenaline?
I don't. I actually, I'm exhausted when I train a fighter for as long as I do, and then I'm in the ring. I'm in the ring throwing punches as much as he is. So after the fight, I'm as exhausted as he is. So come Saturday, when Muzafar wins the Arabian Sea Title, the WBC Arabian Sea Title, I will be exhausted and I will be elated at the same time that Pakistan have a WBC champion.
Definitely. Well, boys, all the best to you, to Mustafa, to Pakistan, and hopefully we get a win on Saturday, and then, of course, we have a great win party on Saturday night as well, because that's the way we want to go for it. But Mark and Umer, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure having both of you.
Thank you.
Right, on that note, that's all we have time for, but one thing is for sure. I'm personally going there on Saturday to root for our boy and root for Pakistan. You can be there as well and catch all the action yourself, and definitely support the country, support the boys as well, and make sure that we win this Arabian title when we talk about this as well. But it's great to see that as well, and definitely, like we said, Umar's going to be there, I'm going to be there, Mark is definitely going to be there ringside as well, and you can catch all the action there on Saturday. From me and the entire team, it's goodbye for now.